Mm-hmm.
For maybe 120 lessons.
Mm-hmm.
And they ask you, what is the purpose of 120?
Mm-hmm.
What would be your answer?
The purpose of 120 is to give the person studying an idea of who, what, when, where, and why. The idea is to give you a practical navigational tool, right? To navigate life's sometimes uncertainties, life's obstacles. Everything in 120 can be shown and proven in no limit of time, meaning the time that you'll spend on this earth, you're going to go through various ciphers that the answers in those degrees, as mathematics is applied, will give you the right remedy to any problem you got. So the purpose of 120, we call it the book of life, right? You can live in fear every day or live in freedom everywhere. So no matter where you go, you're supposed to be God on earth no matter where you at, right? So the purpose of 120 is to give you a clear vision of who, then what, then when, then where, and then why, which is the question that most people ask, and you're the one that's going to answer it. Right? As it relates to the why factor, which is the 25th degree in our alphabet, wisdom, power, God, right? Everybody looking for God, but they're looking outside in the sky, on the internet, through other brothers, you know what I mean? But yet they say they God, but why are you looking for me to be your God? You be God, you know what I mean? You be that, and be that to its fullest degree if you know how to be that. So 120 is a navigational tool, and it's also a means to give you insight, hindsight, and foresight. Like I said, 120, you can predict your life, good, bad, or indifferent, but it's your choice. LCD, your life, your choices, and your decisions that's going to either make you, break you, or forsake you.
Okay. Should or do, or is it a requirement for brothers to memorize 120 lessons?
So let's talk about that. And I'm glad you answered that. As brothers get older, I know for me, because I can only answer for me, even it was said that old man Justice never memorized 120 lessons, but he was able to tell you what it meant. How do you know what it meant if you didn't memorize it? Because he went through life challenges, life changes. So again, this is a book of life. When we first get this knowledge as a rites of passage, we're told to fast, we're told to read, we're told to stay away from the 85% world, we're told to do a lot of things. But the one thing that we are told is to memorize the lessons. Now, where does that come from? If you look at the supreme wisdom for all those who know that that's where this came from as it relates to the source, it speaks about Elijah saying that the student or the laborer must memorize his questions and answers. All right, so Allah saw that as when he was in that mosque. To memorize it is to do like anything else, right? It's to make sure that when you're dealing with something, you know exactly what degree to go to based upon what you're dealing with, right? It's not just there to say, okay, so you got brothers that know 120 backwards and forwards, left, right, up and down, but their life is up and down, joys and sorrows, hardships and heartaches. 120 is there to tell you that what should be your reward in the destruction. Meaning, once you've reached a certain point, you should be rewarded for the labors and things that you're doing, which is love, peace, and happiness. Love is an understanding. Peace is the expression, and happiness is what you can get when you bring it all together. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not doing that, if you're not bringing it together right, you're not going to be happy. And we got a lot of unhappy people in our nation. Let's just be clear about that. We have a lot of people that are very, dissatisfied about where their life is going and where their life ended up, but it was based upon the decisions they made, good, bad, or indifferent. So who do you blame? You say you got 120 on cap in terms of memorizing it, but yet you can't remember the last day you did something for your family in the right way, in terms of planning and positioning right. You can't tell me the last time you did community service to handle or feed the homeless, because you are that, homeless, right? In the sense that you don't have a home to yourself, So it's a lot to this thing, God, as it relates to, the reality of 120 and what it means and how it's applicable and how you should put it in position for your life. One more thing I might add, since I'm thinking about it and we're on the subject matter, is that, right now, 120 is still a basis of memorization because it will remind you of what your duty is, right? It's to teach those who have no civilization, the first thing is to be civil, right? To be civil. Then you become what? Righteous by thinking right and doing right, speaking right, looking right. Then right after that, you get the knowledge of yourself. Well, how can I teach you the knowledge of yourself? Only you know yourself. I can give you books, I can give you certain passages and scriptures, but until you know yourself, you won't be known. You won't be known, right? And then how am I teach you the science of everything in life if you're still stuck in one mindset? So, this whole thing in 120 is supposed to open your mind for higher learning, right? I always tell brothers, man, okay, you have 120. What happened to the 240 that's left? The unknown ciphers. Remember, Yaqub had lessons that wasn't mentioned. Well, guess what? If he had lessons that wasn't mentioned, there's also lessons that you haven't discovered yet. And you got to go discover them by exploring the planet. Go outside your norm. Get out of the corner that you're in. Go take a trip. Go see something different. Go do something different. Go meet new people to, how would I say, expand your horizons in 120. Then you can have a life to live because now you can talk about the science of things in life because you lived life. A lot of brothers and sisters is not living life. They're living, under the hamster wheel syndrome. But going nowhere. Talking about follow me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about the house track neither. How follow me? I'm talking about follow me. Well, how am I gonna follow you when you ain't going nowhere? Again, I add a little humor to my bills because some things are meant laughing about and some things are not. And right now there's no laughing matter. The devil is working overtime. I'm quite sure y'all see all this things he's doing. He can care less about you claiming to be God. He's showing you that he's the devil every day, and he's telling you in your face that he's the devil. Every day. And he's using your woman. He's using your children. He's using everything in his arsenal to show and prove that he's the devil. So why can't you show and prove that you God then? Question for those who have the answer, right? But it's real, as I get older, I'm taking this shit even more real because nobody knows when the hour is coming, when you'll take your last breath. I just buried a few people that I know, man, and looking at them in that coffin, it's not a fair thing, it's the inevitable. So what do you do until the meantime? You got to do your duty. First, you got to do the duty with yourself. You got to make sure you are in a position to handle the weight that comes with saying that you God. I want to talk about this a little bit deeper now because, there's a brother in our lessons who was by the name of Jesus. And they shield certain things in the name of Christianity because they claim he was buried there. Buried where? Jerusalem, a place founded in peace, right? The point of that is that he was a 5%er. He taught the truth that the black man was God, and everybody he came to save to tell him that, they got rid of him, right? They crucified him. The same people he came to save is the one who put him under the unfortunate, crucifixion. Don't think that you won't be crucified neither by the same people you coming to save. You're gonna be crucified. You're gonna be ridiculed. You're gonna be, taken advantage of if that's the case, and you're gonna be used for certain things because you say that you this. But you gotta stand on this because without it, what do you have? So again, this is, everything in those lessons, God, has meaning when it's, applied through mathematics. We say that mathematics is a right and exact science, and it is. But unless you put it in the language so you can identify and interpret what 120 represents, you'll still be stuck in 120. And we got a lot of people who don't understand the difference between 120 and 360.